I am the one and only Eagle Double T. In this video, I'm going to be comparing Nintendo's old school GameCube controller versus PlayStation's newer DualShock 4 controller. So let's begin. Round 1, quality. Now the DualShock 4 does feel a very high quality. It looks really good, just the way it's textured, and then the texturing on the bottom feels pretty good. The light, the micro USB charging, even the glossy finish around the D-pad, and the buttons, and the touchpad. It feels a very, very high quality, although it's not the world's best built controller, although it is built exceptionally well. The GameCube controller is built really well. I've never heard of buttons or anything like that failing, and this is far older than the DualShock 4, and it's held up tremendously well. Not only is the DualShock 4 built exceptionally well, but it also feels very modern for nowadays, so it takes the first round. Round 2, comfort. The DualShock 4 controller, it feels decently comfortable. It is a vast improvement over the DualShock 3, 2, 1. They were not very good controllers, to be honest. The DualShock 4 feels a lot more high quality. It's a lot more comfortable. However, after a long period of time, my hands do cramp up for some reason. So I cannot play it for more than 30 minutes at most, which is why I don't play the PS4 that much. The GameCube controller I can use with hours on end. It is one of the most comfortable controllers I have ever held. It has a small shape. It's about the same size as the DualShock 4, maybe a little bit bigger. It's not a real big controller, but it fits my hands really, really, really well. It kind of just fits right into my palm, and then my hands wrap around it, and then my fingers just meld into the triggers. My hands just go to the buttons and the joystick. It feels very comfortable and natural. The GameCube controller is undoubtedly one of the most comfortable controllers of all time, while the DualShock 4 doesn't quite meet the GameCube standards. So the GameCube takes round 2. Round 3, buttons, joysticks, and triggers. Now the DualShock 4, it's okay. The triggers are not that bad for most games, but honestly, when it comes to shooters and racers, these are some of the worst triggers I've ever held. Once again, it is a huge improvement over the DualShock 3 and 2, but it's still not even as good as the GameCube, which was made over a decade before. Bumpers are okay, not a complaint there. The D-pad is a big improvement over the DualShock 3 once again, filling in the space in the middle much more, and it does function fairly well. The buttons, they are a little bit flat, but they work just fine. The joysticks are one of my biggest complaints about this controller. I think they're the perfect elevation, not too high, not too low. However, the radius is very, very small, much too small, and it doesn't really feel right, especially when it comes to shooters. And if your hands are even somewhat greasy, your fingers will slip right off. When it comes to the GameCube, far better triggers. They're very comfortable, your hand just fits right into them, and they work flawlessly. The bumper is my big complaint about this controller. It's really wimpy and just not very good. The D-pad, I could go either way with the D-pads. That one is bigger, but this one it feels better. The joystick is almost perfect. There's almost no dead spot in it, and it works very well. It's very comfortable and very grippy. The C-stick is fully functional. I've never had a problem with it. I say it works just fine. I actually really like it. And then the buttons, I feel, are really nice because I feel like they're strategically placed for games like Metroid Prime, where A is the shoot button, and then Z and Y and B, the jump, morph ball, missile buttons. So having a primary A button and then other buttons around it is very, very nice. The GameCube takes round 3 for having honestly a much better button layout, and also just much nicer buttons in general. Round 4. The wireless capabilities of these controllers. Both these controllers has their ups and downs. The GameCube controller was the first controller to function correctly under the use of wireless technology. It worked almost flawlessly and far better than anything invented before it. However, one thing that is not very effective and, very convenient is that you had to adjust the channel here and here, which wasn't cool. Although it wasn't really a problem, it just wasn't as convenient. The battery life on this controller is better than the DualShock 4, I'll tell you that right now. However, it is a lot bulkier, having to be wireless, and it does take batteries. There's, no rechargeable battery packs, anything like that. The range on this thing is fairly large, but one thing that can really kill your controller, batteries, is leaving your controller on if you forget to turn it off, which happens a lot. The DualShock 4, the range it's very acceptable. I mean, it works just fine. It can charge through micro USB, which is a really nice feature, being able to charge that way. And it is rechargeable, no batteries or anything like that, which is great. However, the biggest complaint that most people have about this controller, including myself, is the battery life. A lot of people say, I think it has like a 6-hour battery life. Although I'm disagree. I'm pretty sure it's only like a 4-hour battery life. I mean, it's horrendous. And I'd rather have the GameCube controller use its batteries than have to plug this in to like the 2-inch USB charger that they provide you with and charge my controller, because it really is not very good, because it has that big stupid light there, and it drains your battery. So both these controllers has their ups and downs. Round 5, the overall controller. Now when it comes to the GameCube controller, I think of a very comfortable, fully functional controller. It is far more comfortable than the DualShock 4. It has better battery life than the DualShock 4. And the button layout and buttons and triggers and joysticks themselves are better than the DualShock 4's. However, the DualShock 4 is a lot more innovative with its headphone jack and touchpad on top. It's a lot more modern and can be charged through a USB. But in the end, personally, I would go with the GameCube controller. I'm going to give the final round to the GameCube for overall having just a better controller. And with a score of 2 for the DualShock 4 and 3 for the GameCube controller is superior to the DualShock 4. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe for more video game related content. And please comment what your favorite controller is, the DualShock 4 or the GameCube controller. I am the one and only Eagle Double T, signing off. Goodbye.